The UK Foreign Secretary Liz Truss is the latest senior cabinet member to enter the race to succeed Boris Johnson as the leader of the governing Conservative Party and therefore Prime Minister. Ms. Truss announced her plans in a newspaper article on Sunday, pledging to cut taxes on day one. 11 contenders right now are in the running since Boris Johnson announced he was stepping down on Thursday. Londoners have been giving their reaction to the leadership race.
Most likely we're looking at Penny Mordaunt, but I think, and maybe Jeremy Hunt. And I think the sooner we cut the field down, the better. It turned into a little bit of a circus last time. I don't think it should do that again. I think the sooner we get to a leadership contest, or at least to a reduction down to a handful of candidates so we can understand them properly, Liz Truss too, to be fair, understand who they are properly and then get on with it. That's fine. There's too much to do. On too many fronts.
Although I've always been a Conservative voter, it's just I think it's a bit of a mess, and actually maybe 5 years of a change might not be a bad thing. They just don't seem to be focused on the big issues at the moment. There's more scandal after scandal. Everybody is starting to struggle now, and all we're hearing about is the next scandal, and they're not doing anything to help the people on the streets.
I think the quicker they get over it, the better. I think there is one solid candidate, and that's Mr. Sunak, because he's already had experience as being Chancellor, and he's also got the background. He's proved himself in the past, and I think he's a very able fellow, and I think he could also be a good leader, which is what we need to do to unite the party. I think the sooner that we let Mr. Sunak get on and lead the party, the better.
From on this, we can cross live to London and join Arise Chief Correspondent John Cookson. John, thanks so much for joining us on Newsday. Tell us more about how the Conservative Party will choose its next leader.
Hi guys, great to be on Newsday. Well, we'll find out more when a special committee of the Conservative Party gets together at 5 o'clock today, London time, also Nigerian time, to dictate what the process will be and the time frame. But if it follows previous patterns, it'll look like this. Each candidate has to have a proposer, a seconder, and at least 18 supporters. Now, this committee meeting tonight may increase that to 30 to narrow the field a little bit. But after that, there's a series of votes by MPs. And when they're down to the last two standing, then there's a postal ballot of 100,000 members of the Conservative Party. So we should have a result possibly in September, but my sense of it is earlier than that. To get down to the last two standing, Conservative Party apparatchiks are suggesting that they'll have those two figures already by July the 21st, which will be, I think, welcomed by many people because, as you heard from those Vox Pops there just a short time ago, people, the sense of it here is that people want to get on with it, and the UK as a nation is fed up of all the political shenanigans. Boris Johnson been speaking today for the first time since he quit as party leader. He says that he's not endorsing any candidate, which might be welcomed by most of the candidates in the frame. As I say, there are 11. We may get up to the dirty dozen later today with Priti Patel, current Home Secretary, Interior Minister. She might also decide to run, but she hasn't made her mind up yet. So runners and riders already out there, and we'll just have to see what the time frame will be when this special committee meets this afternoon.
What's the big issue that they're campaigning on?
Tax, tax, tax. Britons are taxed more now than ever they were since the end of the Second World War, both corporation tax and personal tax. And each of these candidates are promising to cut taxes, however, crucially, not saying how they're going to do that and what services they're going to cut to make up for the shortfall in tax. So,
looking at the plethora of candidates we have out there, have any favorites emerged already?
Rishi Sunak, the former Chancellor of the Exchequer who resigned last week, is way out in front, both in straw polls of MPs and also a survey of Britain's bookmakers. They've got him miles out in front, a 30% lead. I mean, he's well known to the British public. He's seen as a safe pair of hands. And of course, he has an intimate knowledge of the British economy, which augurs well for someone who has to try and drag Britain out of the current potential recession it faces and cost of living crisis. So he's pretty much way out in front at the moment. He's slightly damaged goods in that there was allegations earlier this year that his wife wasn't paying her taxes in the UK. She has non-dom status, and there was a hoo-ha about that. So Sunak has to sort that out in the coming days, because for sure they'll come under scrutiny again. But after that, it's pretty much an open field. We've mentioned already Jeremy Hunt, former Health Secretary, former Foreign Secretary Sajid Javid, also former Health Secretary who quit last week. Penny Mordaunt has held 2 cabinet posts in the past. She's currently the Trade Policy Minister. Grant Shapps, Transport Secretary, and outsiders like Suella Braverman. So she's the current Attorney General. So a wide open field, and as I was explaining earlier, they have to narrow all these candidates down from the current 11 down to 2.
Oh, John Cookson, thank you so much for joining us on Newsday.